Hey everybody, welcome to Volunteer Tip Tuesday, where every Tuesday I'm going to try to give you some tips that are going to help make you an awesome youth leader. Today we're doing part 2 of the do's and don'ts of leading a small group. Last time we talked about the things that you should do to be an effective small group leader. Today we're going to talk about the things that you don't do in order to help make you a more effective small group leader. Here we go. Don't have too many students in your group. Like, a lot of people think that the more the better, that bigger is better. When you're talking about small groups, smaller is actually better in general rather than bigger. So everybody might disagree on what the exact number is. I would suggest between 5 and 8 students is the ideal number of students that you should have in your small group. My theory is kind of like Jesus had 12 in his small group, so I'm gonna go for 5. I would suggest if you have 9 or more, then you figure out a way to break that group in half. Because to be honest, most volunteer youth leaders aren't gonna do a great job at investing in the lives of more than like 8 or 9 students. What'll happen is you'll probably do a good job with 2 or 3 and a bad job with the rest. So don't have too many students in your group. Don't let any one student dominate the whole discussion. If you have a student who just wants to talk all the time, because many of us have that kid in our groups, you as the leader have to figure out a way to not let him dominate the conversation. Ask other students to pipe in, ask him to go last. There's different techniques to do that, but don't let one student dominate the whole group. Don't talk or teach the whole time. You're there to facilitate a conversation, not to preach. Don't be afraid of silence. Don't shun anyone's answer or laugh at them or belittle them, or I think you get the point. Hey, did you notice I got a haircut since the last video? Oh, this is a good one. Don't be satisfied with the first answer to your questions. You might want to throw it back to the rest of the group saying, hey, what do the rest of you guys think? And try to get the conversation going. Don't just be satisfied with one answer, 2 answers. Force students to dig in deeper and think harder about your questions and about your conversation. Wow, this is starting to feel like it's just a list of a bunch of rules of things that you shouldn't do. Please don't see this as just a list of rules. See it as suggestions that are gonna help you make you a more effective small group leader. This one might be totally obvious, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Don't put down, yell at, hurt, or embarrass a student. That's not good. Another thing you don't want to do is don't let students make fun of other students or of the answers that they're giving in your group discussion. This again might be obvious, but sometimes kids are mean to each other and make fun of each other. Let's not let that happen in our small groups. Don't be discouraged, you guys. This is a challenging thing. Leading small groups of teenagers is hard, but I know that you guys are doing a great job. The fact that you're watching this video proves to me that you want to get better and that you're going to get better. Don't be discouraged. Don't destroy the room or the area that you're meeting in. Now, this might be obvious again, but I've walked into many rooms after a small group met in there and I thought, what in the world? It doesn't even seem like there was an adult leading this group the way this room looks right now. Don't let confidential things that students share in the group leave the group. Like, what's said in this group stays in this group. You can't totally control that, but you can set the tone as a leader to help ensure that your group is a safe place where students feel honest to be themselves, to be real, and to be authentic. That's not gonna happen if students are worried that what they say in the group is gonna leave the group. So don't let what's said in the group leave the group. Don't make up answers. Like, if a student asks you a question and you don't know the answer, say, hey, great question. Let me get back to you next week, and then look into it and find an answer. Or another great tip is, if you don't know the answers, put the question out to the group. Hey, what do you guys think? So-and-so asked this. Do any of you know the answer? Ask your group. You might have some really smart kids in your group that know the answer to the other students' questions. Finally, don't give up on your students. Please, don't quit. Your students need you in their life, loving them, pointing them towards Jesus. What you're doing as a youth leader, as a small group leader, it really, really matters. You're making a difference, even when it doesn't feel like this. Guys, this is hard, this is tough work, this is challenging work, but it's worth it. What you're doing is making an eternal difference. Keep it up. thanks so much for tuning in to Volunteer Tip Tuesday. If you found this helpful, it'd be awesome if you could share it with some other youth leaders that you know. Have a great day. See you next week.